This is season 2 of the Off-Grid Wilderness Trapline series. It documents a full trapping season from our off-grid cabin in northern Maine. This documentary series is for educational purposes only. Tune in every night for new episodes from season 2, the Trapline.
Alright, good morning guys, bright and early. Gonna hit it hard today on the trap line, gonna get a bunch more sets out. We're still in the first couple days of the season. Today I think I'm gonna trap a couple areas that I had trapped last year and pulled out of and left some fur. Hopefully it replenished, hopefully there was some fur left there. It'll be kind of familiar areas, which I haven't been doing the last couple days. I've been working really hard to find new areas and new spots. So today, a little bit of both. I'm always looking for new areas. It's my favorite thing to do, is to try to find fur and find new spots and do some exploring. It's one of the best parts about trapping, is getting to explore areas. But today I'm going to set some of those older spots and see how they do and try to get ahead of some of these fisher. The fisher up here in Maine, up in the North Maine woods, take about a 30-day return. So you really only have like 1 to 1.5 cycles to try to catch a fisher if you miss one. So I'm trying to get ahead of those in spots where I've either caught fisher before, seen fisher tracks, or I think are going to be really good fisher runs. Here's a Belisle 120 Magnum. I filed down the trigger a little bit on this one. She's kind of a hair. But you take your safeties off. I slide the safeties out so they don't interfere with the box. And then that goes in there. Jammed up so the trap is tight. Lock your box, and then I think we're going to set right here, so around this tree, just in case the Sam Squatch gets it. He has to break the wire. All right, just like that, we're set. I caught a fisher in these same woods last year. It's thick, swampy, kind of rabbit woods, kind of thick, as you can see, dark. I don't know, the GoPro always brings in more light, so, but should be pretty good fisher run again this year. Hoping. It's a little bit swampier. We just got a 2 3/4 inches of rain day before the season, so the woods are wet. We got some rain last night. It's just kind of finishing up raining right now for the day, I hope. And then I just heard on the radio we got some 45-mile-an-hour winds coming later today, so I'd kind of like to get as much in as I can. before it gets real nasty. All right, I am in there. A little bit of a long drive this morning. I'm in an area where I trapped last year, a road system. I ended up picking up 2 Fisher and like 5 or 6 Marten down here. I'll probably get about 10 traps in. I'm gonna set it a little bit differently than last year. Some of the areas where I didn't catch fur, I'm not gonna set those unless I really still like the run or something, but I'll probably set a few of the same exact spots, and then I'll expand and trap some opposite areas or new areas on this road. So here we go. Pretty sure I just saw either a small marten or a big weasel run through, kind of loping through. Might be up a tree over there. We'll go take a peek after. Got some beaver meat here that my buddy Jesse put together. This stuff will not freeze. He's got it mixed with some pretty good stuff. But we'll put a couple pieces. And I'm still gonna wire that in, so if anything ever gets past the pan or the triggers, they're gonna have to still work it. No easy free meals. And I think we only need about a half a partridge here. This one's got a pan. This is a Connie pan. Just something I built out of some material similar to a political sign. Another trapper, Joe Young, was telling me that's what he uses, so I'm going to give it a try. We're going to try some Connie pans this year. Hopefully we'll have some less misses. And the guys that use Connie pans, they swear by them, so let's see what all the fuss is about. But that's what it looks like. And they step on it and it trips. So we're set up there. I don't know. We'll try it. It's something new, and we're always trying to get better, right? Quick connect that Molly and Jesse made for me. now that you have to really attach your traps to a tree rather than to the box. All right, we're set. Put a log over that. Dipping it. And then we're going to add a little bit of scent in here. A new spot for me this year on a old area. I caught a fisher not too far from here. We'll get that area set up too. But let's go over here and see if that if whatever we saw was a mustelid. Only thing it could have been was a red squirrel, but usually they talk back and show themselves pretty good. And this thing was loping rather than just running. So sometimes they'll just run up a tree and make noise at you. Be pretty cool if we see one. You don't always get to see these guys alive. Well, the fact that there's not a red squirrel just sitting there chattering at me kind of confirms that I did see one. They move pretty quick, but they are curious, so I'm surprised he didn't get a little closer. But we'll see him in a couple days. Just couldn't tell. Well, there's a moose wallow. That's where a moose kind of dug out the ground, and they'll wallow. They'll make a big scrape right here, and kind of like a bowl, and then they pee in it, and then they roll in it. They do that before mating season, or into mating season, to try to get that strong musk smell out there. All right, this one's another Connie pan, as you can see. So the trap's going to go in upside down. That puts a little bit of pressure on the trigger system, which I don't love, but if in the future I could always bevel out. If I'm going to go with these pans or putting the traps in upside down, I could bevel out a spot for that trigger, so it's definitely free all the time. But we'll try that out, and then I'll show you something cool. I'll get that set, and then I'll show you something cool at this site that I just found again for like the third time. All right, so that set is in there. It's good to go. The trap is solid. There's no movement. It's got to step on that pan or put its head in past that pan to get to the bait, and the bait is wired a little bit on the high side in the back, which I want it to be a little bit higher, so he's got to go work up and step on that pan, or if he jumps over the pan, he's going to step on it again. So we're going to set that baby in here. One thing I want to show you that's pretty cool is, so this is a spot where I caught a fisher and then 2 marten, and like I said earlier, it's not a catch and release sport, so you know those animals are gone. But I think it's a really good spot and a good location on this ridge up above this green growth going into hardwood, and it connects to a really nice travel way, which is why I feel like I caught multiple species and multiple furs here last year. But I'll show you where so I had my long distance call there, and you could see these bare claw marks there. See them up there, see them all through this tree right there. There's 3, 4 right there, peeled down, peeled down, peeled down, peeled down, peeled down, and peeled down. And all this sap that you see running out, are where there were claw marks. So that's like the, I haven't reset a lot of spots yet from last year. And this is one that I'm setting again because it was really successful location and spot. But I'm finding that the bear really went to town on the trees where I put my long distance scent. And I don't know why. I mean, if it's, obviously they're coming in for the same reasons that Marten and Fisher are, but then they tear the tree apart. I don't know if they're mad because there's not a meal here, or they're maybe crawling up and wiping the scent on themselves like a dog would, or I have no idea. If you guys have any knowledge on it, let me know. Or if maybe it's just now it's they're marking the territory and it's their scent pole now. So, but it's pretty neat, and it takes a few to make a pattern, and so far it's quite a few, more than not. I haven't really set a lot of spots, like I said, and almost all of them have been marked up by a bear. But there's the set. It's wired to that tree. I got a square opening and a wooden back on this one. Last year I think this trap was a 155 Duke, and I had a diamond front with a wire back. So we'll see if it makes a difference. I don't think it does. I think it just comes down to location more than anything. Well, that was pretty cool. I stopped to set a trap, and on the last time I stopped to set a trap, I was walking in and I saw a grouse. So I was setting down the box and my tool bag to go back to get the shotgun, and they flew off. So I've gone about a mile away, and I'm going to set another trap, and I stop the truck and look over, and right where I'm going to walk in, there's a couple birds. So there we go. It's got 2 birds for dinner, and they'll get to use, most importantly, I'm going to eat them, and they're incredible to eat. And then I'm also going to use the carcasses for more bait. So that's pretty exciting, getting 2 birds like that. And it's just weird that both spots where I wanted to stop and trap, there happened to be grouse at both spots. I don't know. Is that a pattern? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? We don't know. Pretty wet. Pretty wet out here. It's been a crazy dry summer. Drought conditions down home. Not quite drought up here, but pretty bad. And then this last 3 weeks we've made up for it. We got 2 3/4 inches a couple days ago, and before that we had 1 inch, and then last night we got even more. So the puddles are holding water pretty good, as you could see. But I'm gonna go in, set this spot. It's a wicked thick green growth. Got some hardwood over here, got some height of land over here, and then it kind of funnels down into this green growth right here into a nice cedar bog. So I've always been a big fan of cedar, so I'm gonna get in there and set that. And one of these I got to start putting some trail cameras out. Yeah, I wonder where those cameras are. I think I loaded them up. If I did, I'll set a trail camera right here. No, I'll get it on the next one. All right, that looks like a winner to me. Got it in this nice cedar bog here. There's a good part and the bad part about setting up cedar bogs and lowlands like this is one. The bad part is I don't think your long range call is going to get out very far, because a lot of that scent's just going to sit down in this bog, and the wind doesn't get to it too much as compared to if you were setting up on a ridge or up on a side bank or normal area. So that's one of the bad sides of it. But the good side is it's where they live and it's where they hunt. So if anything does come through, your long range scent should go far enough to call something in, and you're putting yourself in a little bit better position, in my opinion, to catch something if you set up in great locations. So those are a couple of things about setting. One of the major reasons that I diversify my sets is to figure that stuff out and to learn to be successful, on days when the wind blows, and to be successful on days when the wind isn't blowing. Mix it up a little bit. If I set every cedar bog and only cedar bogs, I'd miss out on a lot of fur. Okay, got a ground set in here. This was, I'm in the general area where I made some really good catches last year. Ended up picking up 2 Marten and a Fisher in this block of woods over here. I'm setting up a little bit different area. But this is, these type of woods here with that similar age growth, you know, this was probably a clear cut, I don't know, 45, 50 years ago. And you get a lot of the similar size, and looks like they might have thinned it at 1.2. But these, you know, whether it's thinned or not, these are really good woods to hunt for deer for me. Like I've done really well, stacked a few deer in woods like this, especially on super windy days like today. Today's supposed to be blowing 45, gusts of 45 later. And one thing I learned hunting this is if you look around, it's like you got just vertical after vertical after vertical after vertical. And once you train your eye to look for anything horizontal, the deer just pop right out. It's crazy when you're around deer. You know, they'll get in these woods and they don't really move much. They're just kind of chewing on old man's beard, or if there's ferns or anything like that. But there's very little horizontals compared to a regular wood situation. So once you train your eye to look for that horizontal and look for it, you know, anywhere from 2 to 4 foot off the ground, depending on if there's hummocks or ups and downs in the woods, then the deer just stand out. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. So if you're ever deer hunting and you find yourself in a super windy situation, you know, you're going to have a couple days of big wind, look for woods like this. Look for the darkest, greenest, thickest woods you can get to, because that's where I've generally found the deer on days like that. And it's, the nice thing is, I don't know if you guys can even hear that wind, but in here it's pretty quiet and it's still, there's not a lot of stuff moving around. There's not a lot of limbs banging or moving around. It's it gives them a little bit of that advantage that they're looking for. But you can move super quiet in here, because if you look at the ground, it's got that moss. If you just watch where you step, it's pretty quiet. Nice. A nice partridge there, guys. That's going to provide a great meal and good protein and nourishment. And then the carcass I could use for trap bait. Try and catch a fisher or a marten with it. Maybe even a weasel. There he is, guys. That might be my first limit of the year, believe it or not. So that's 4 for the day. We're gonna eat some grouse tonight. I'm pumped. All right, we are in there. It's been spitting some snow, which is pretty cool. First snow of the year for me. Got a set made right there. Ground set. I think that's a really good Fisher set. Probably pop a Marten there, but looks like there's a wicked beaver bog up ahead. Not sure if they're active or not. Let's go take a look, because we might be snapping some beaver here pretty soon, because I could always use more bait. It's always a good idea to trap predators near a beaver bog. Yeah, looks active. Let's get a closer look. Looks old too. Pretty fresh chewings there. Chewings here, where they drag the log in. Man, this could be a big flowage. Water's not very high. Yeah, a little tiny hut. It's got to be another hut than that one. Oh yeah, there it is. No. Man, there's got to be more beaver here than that. You get a 330 right there in that run, I think. Oh yeah, there's a huge hut. Okay, so there's 2 huts here. It's huge. Yeah. Alrighty. Sweet. We're gonna be trapping some beaver pretty soon. First thing is first for me is to get all my Marten boxes out. There's an absolute huge hut and dam down there. Wow, these are some destructive beavers. Not only did they block the road, but they are taking down some big trees. Look at these drags. Wow. Cool. Oh, there's a partridge. Right here. See him? Right behind that stump. We're gonna flush him. There he goes. Haha. He's lucky I had my limit, or he'd be dinner. We're gonna be in here checking this trap every handful of days, so that guy's days are probably numbered. We're still on the mileage count. I might throw a set in here. I actually really like this for Fisher, running this old kind of creek. Not quite a stream. Boy, she's getting windy. It's that little storm pushed through. I think that was the head of it. I think we're gonna get some serious winds. They were calling for 45 mile an hour gusts, and I bet we're gonna have all of that. I'll be probably cutting my way home from some trees, maybe across roads and stuff. But I've had people ask why I don't clean up those alders and drive through them and stuff, and if I'm going to drive through them, you know, every couple days. And honest part of it is because I think it keeps other trappers out of some spots. You know, not everybody's running a truck with 400,000 miles on it. There's a lot of guys trapping with brand new vehicles, and they're not going to drive through that type of stuff. So if it keeps a couple people out, you know, I'll drive through the alders every day if I have to. But yeah, let's get some more sets in. I'd like to. This is a completely new road system for me, so I'm pretty pumped about it because it's looking promising for both Fisher and Marten. And there's beaver here, there's moose here, there's probably deer here. So I'm gonna get it set up. Probably get about 8 or 10 traps on this stretch and see how it is. You know, I've been fortunate enough. I got to trap on 2 of my favorite roads today I set up from last year, and this one might be one of my new favorite roads. We'll see, but it'll be on that same line as those other ones when I go to check. Yeah, I ground swap birds. I know there's gonna be a bunch of people in the comments complaining or giving me a hard time about ground swatting birds, partridge, grouse, whatever you want to call them, wherever you're from. But that's how we do it up here in Maine. None of these, I think that was the only one on the road today, and that wasn't even on gravel. That was just in a grassy road. But I've seen 13, 14 birds today, which is the best bird day I've had, I think, all year. I think maybe the storm's got them out and about, or maybe just me getting into some really tough backwoods places is the key. But I don't want to hear anything about ground swatting birds, because I'll shoot them in the air too. I'll take them any way I can get them. You know, it's to me, I look at it like groceries. I'm not standing here telling you I'm some kind of wing shooter or hoity-toity or anything like that. I am shooting birds for food and for bait. The carcass is for bait, the bird for food, and I'll take every one I can get within the law. It's rainy, spitting snow. She's blowing straight sideways out there, guys. It's for real. It's gonna be a pretty nasty night. I hope we don't lose power. I got someone coming into camp tonight, one of Donnie's buddies and a friend of mine too now. David Ames will be in camp probably now. I got a couple more hours of daylight. I'm gonna use up every minute of it I can today, because I really like this area and I got to get a bunch more sets in. This looks like a really good spot for a set. Yeah, we're gonna get one in. All right, there's another set in. Video never does it justice, but this is a steep mountainside with some mixed growth. If a fisher's coming through here, this is definitely going to be his travel way. I got a little bit of elevation behind me that the north wind and northwest wind is going to push up the hill, but otherwise pretty good spot. That should be a catch there if he comes through here. I find it a little tougher to catch fisher early in the season because they're just tremendous, excellent hunters, and there's a lot of prey easily available early. But once the snow covers up the ground for a week or more, then it's game on for the fisher, and they know where the sets are. They visit them. All right, fueling up time. While that's fueling up, I'm gonna clean some grouse. First time I've been back in the daylight. I probably got about 10 more minutes before it's pitch black out here, so I'm gonna take advantage of that and load up some bait and some boxes for tomorrow. Most important thing are these birds. So, I love eating grouse. That's a good one right there. Just a pellet, just one pellet. This one's big. There you go, 4 birds just like that. Good bait for tomorrow, good dinner for either tonight or tomorrow. All right, looking really good. It's dark now. We got a full moon on the rise over there, so cold front coming in, but pretty well loaded for tomorrow. Loaded back up in here. Got a bunch of bait, some more scent. Got my coffee cups and 4 partridge breasts to clean and bring in. I don't think we're gonna eat them tonight because David's got some stuff to eat. And then we'll check that game card and see what was at the feeder today. Did you get it figured out?
Yeah.
I know you brought your own cribbage board and your own cards and stuff.
I just brought it in case you...
And there's no way I can beat you this year after last year. Last year, I got every cut you could get. Dave could not get a hand or a cut. It was pretty ugly.
That's like when Donnie and I played, you and Greg. We couldn't do for shit.
It was bad.
Christ, it was...
Now, you guys got double skunked or skunked every game. So we're going to play a little bit tonight, guys. And then... I mean, it's so nice in here right now, and it was wet and cold outside today, so I don't know how late I'm going to stay up tonight.
Somebody said they saw when you beat me, and they said afterwards a skunk ran across the screen. You must have put it on the...
No, it was this skunk right
Oh,
here.
that skunk. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But now I got a new skunk hat that you got to wear if you get skunked. Guys, I can't just report it when I win, so I got to let you guys know. The skunk came out pretty early, first game. I think David Ames has been practicing cribbage ever since he left here last year because he kicked my behind all over the place tonight. We're playing 10 cents a point, $1 a game, and I'm down. Let's just say I got to catch some serious fur this week once I can check traps. What am I down, Dave?
Only 10.80.
10.60. I'm down $10.60. And I think he won all the games but one in the game.
No, that's 11.60 because I
Oh,
won
11.
$1.60.
Oh, it's still going up.
No, $1.30.
Oh, it's still going up. Uh-oh.
No, $1.40. So it's,
Oh my God!
it's 11 though.
The vig is still rolling. Oh man! So I now I got to catch a lot of fur. We're going backwards already, but yeah. All in all, great day. I'm happy to have Dave in camp. And tomorrow he's going to do a little deer hunting, a little bird hunting. I still have a lot of traps to get out. He's not allowed to help because he doesn't have a trapping license, and that's the way the laws are. But later in the week when I start checking boxes, he can go just as an observer. So we'll probably do that later in the week. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Another great day setting traps on the trap line. I'm excited already to check traps. I checked one trap today that wasn't mine. I was walking into a spot to make a set. And there was a trap there on the ground, and it was actually sprung, like something got in it. And I looked, and he didn't have anything. It looked like a brand new box. He had a piece of chicken, I think a piece of chicken wired in the back, and he had a Connie pan with a Duke 155. I think it was my neighbor's. I got a guy up here with a camp. I call him my neighbor. He's 6 miles away. He's trapping for a couple weeks, real good guy. And I think it was his. I wanted to reset it, but I didn't want to mess with the trap. I didn't want to touch it, and I didn't want to check the trap tag or anything. So if we cross paths, I'll mention it to him and ask him what he's running for traps and boxes, and let him know that I saw one that was sprung with nothing in it. So that way he can get up there and reset it before it comes back. And I could have set there. It was a spot where I actually caught a marten last year. I could have set like further in, but I left it for him. So there's enough woods for everybody, I guess. I'm trying to keep my competitive side down some and really grow and have fun with it. So thanks for tuning in.